All right, Betting Weekly Tennis. We're back again. Bet Rivers Network. We've reached the summit. Mitch, Michals, Dustin, Fox, ATP Finals. The 11-month season has reached its conclusion. Best 8 players in the men's game, battling it out in Turin. We've got a lot to get to. All part of the Bet Rivers Network. Download the app if you haven't already. Follow us and subscribe on the social channels, the X account, Instagram, and YouTube. All at Because We Win. Dustin Fox on this Monday joining me. I saw some snow coming in your neck of the woods, but
we got snow last night. We were supposed to get like 5 to 10 inches because they were calling for this like little winter storm. Yeah. We did not get 5 to 10 inches, but we did get some white stuff that covered the ground today. So it was nice to wake up in a little bit of a winter wonderland. I don't know if it was nice, but it was. I mean, maybe nice to look at, not nice to walk out into this morning when I was getting up at 5:30 for my morning tennis game. But nonetheless, it was, it's here. Winter's here.
I feel like it's always here. Like tennis is always here. But if you look at like winter and this time of year, you're always just like, my mood is all about sports. So I'm always like, winter could be down, but you also have like, okay, football's lightening up, ATP finals, we're gearing up for Australia. So I'm like mood adjacent, but it's also like sports mood adjacent. So
I'm with you 1,000%. It's kind of weird though that we went from 0 to 100 like on like the football season, which means like it's pretty much over. It's about to be Thanksgiving, right? And then we're into bowl season and that whole deal. But it also means that tennis is pretty much wrapping up here, and our live, ATP WTA during the day is a little bit limited this week.
Yeah, ATP finals, it's great because you got the best, but also there's limited matches. Round robin's also a weird format, but we have 2 matches.
I don't get it.
Different. It's also, you can't ease your way into the tournament. I'm always curious to see who, I think a lot of these events, it takes a couple go rounds. Like that's the luxury of being an elite player, but it takes you a couple times to get used to this format because you can't ease your way into a draw like maybe the very best do. But 2 matches a day. We're into the second day of action, started on Sunday. So we got the final match coming up. It'll be Sinner and Felix Auger-Aliassime, which we'll break down here. Number 1 player in the world, defending champion against the Canadian Felix, who hustled his way into this tournament. But recapping what we've seen so far in this event, Alcaraz beating Minaur. Alcaraz looking just phenomenal. Number 1 ranking is squarely in his sights. He's the odds-on favorite to get to that point, which we can break down in a second. But she also had Sasha Zverev yesterday beat Ben Shelton. And the way he did it, Dustin, coming back from 6-3 down in that tiebreaker was stunning. I don't want to say a little bit of a gag situation from Shelton, but, up 6-3 with that serve in the tiebreak, you got to think he liked his chances. But Zverev, a 2-time champ of this event himself, just found a way.
Yeah, it is surprising. I mean, Shelton seems to sort of not be able to have that ability to close, especially when he's up. And it's surprising because you're right. He has that big kick serve that can go so wide. It can be such a deadly weapon, but if he misses his first serve, it's kind of like all bets are off. And it is interesting, Zverev, who's got the experience, at this tournament or at the finals, like, he certainly doesn't have it anywhere else.
No, and maybe he's used to this format too. He's beaten some good players in this event. And then the match we saw today, Taylor Fritz beats Musetti, straight sets. Fritz looking great. Always, I mean, if Fritz is healthy, ready to go, especially indoor, he looks good. Didn't make many mistakes today. Musetti got the spot that Djokovic relinquished in epic fashion in that match in Athens, which was great. But I did have a sense too, Dustin, going into this event. We'll see Minaur is up next for him. But Musetti had to not be at full energy level at the very least coming into this, given what it took in Athens literally days before.
No, there's no way that he was, fully 100%. There's no way that he was, what he was earlier in the season when he was, red hot during the clay season. And, good for Novak. It's not a big tournament, but I have a question for you too. Is he moving to Greece or something?
Yeah, there's some, I was going to say political. It is political. There's some issues going on with him in Serbia. He has a residency in Greece. I know he has probably property all across the world, but Greece is home base right now. given some discord between him and some people in Serbia. So it meant a lot to him for a lot of different reasons. For that side of things, also just proving, it's his family's tournament, the tournament that got relocated out of Belgrade for reasons I just mentioned, but also proving that you can beat the best. I mean, I heard a lot of discourse about this, and whether or not he should have announced earlier. That's on the tour, right? They changed the rule that this isn't going to happen anymore. Like, it ends in Paris. But if you don't give players a deadline, they can just take as much time as they want. But anytime you beat a top 10 player, I think it should mean something, regardless of whether it's a 250 or a slam. So I think a lot of that reaction was that he still proves that the old man's got it.
He does still have it. And obviously it was, just a 1 weeker, and it wasn't 500. It wasn't 1,000. But still, you knock out a top 10 player and you beat some decent players along the way. Like, you deserve the credit for that. Yeah, it's not a major. I don't even know if he's going to get another major, but he's still clearly a top 5 player in the world, and it's not even close.
Yeah, he was 3 this year. I mean, in big matches, clearly 3 made all semis, only lost to the top 2. So we'll see what ends up happening with him. But I don't like we've talked about. We got Australia around the corner, and he said shoulder, but there's also the fatigue and preserving your body, and no need to chase down an event he's won 5 or 6 times. So yeah, it would be nice to see him here. But we said he gets his first crack at this event as a hometown player, so as a local Italian guy. Yeah, and I was looking at the prices before. I mean, we got the comments in the chat. We encourage everyone to join, but they're pricing out the favorites so much because of how dominant they are and how they've just cleaned up literally every event that they've both been in. One of them has gotten the title. Sinner going into today, like as of last night, I saw prices that are about -160 favorite. He hasn't even played a match yet, and he's the -160 favorite, Dustin, against the very best player, Sans Djokovic, in the world. It's just an insane price, but well-deserved in a lot of ways.
Yeah, no doubt. These matches with the top players, especially Sinner, like, he just doesn't lose. I mean, anytime you can get any decent odds on Sinner, like below like -500, I mean, it's almost guaranteed money.
It really is. And it's priced that way today for a lot of different reasons. You look at his group, and we can kind of get into that too. Sinner won this event last year. He's great on indoor hard court, finalist before losing to Djokovic, and has really just elevated his game. Obviously loves playing in Italy, but let's just talk about what he's done against the players in his group. He's won the last, 4 or 5 against Zverev, I think something along those lines, but it's a 7-match win streak against Ben Shelton. He's beaten Felix a bunch of times in a row as well. So, yeah, how do you get inside on him? How do you make a play? I think Felix has shown that he can be competitive if he serves well. You've used Sinner as that measuring stick. That's why when we get to this match here in a second, Dustin, I'm curious if you think it can be competitive. But he's the best in the world for a reason. And unless you're Carlos Alcaraz, there's no track record of success among these young contemporaries of his.
Felix will play well until one game, and then Sinner will break, and he'll win this in straight sets, something along the lines of what it was last time, and it'll be like 6-4, 6-4.
Well, it was weird too. So like U.S. Open, they put like the 3 times this year, right? He gets destroyed in, was that Canada? I think he gets destroyed in Canada, or one of the North American hard court systems, maybe Cincy. And then U.S. Open, he plays one of the best sets I've seen anyone play against either Sinner or Alcaraz. That's what he got, was like a set out of it with his serving. Last match in Paris, I thought might have been one of Felix's best matches of the year, because he got broke the first game of the match, and he loses the first set 1 break. That was it. The only difference was game 1. And then set 2 is a tiebreaker. He's playing him tight. The margins are so close, but yet these top guys just find a way. So when we get into this match, we'll throw the board up now. It's looking like priced this way for an obvious reason. Money line there, you see it. Sinner -4.5 games is -134. You see the over-under at 20.5. Set betting is interesting. You can also get into some player props too. So I think the first thing to discuss, Dustin, is whether this is a longer match. And if you think if you think Felix can make this competitive, before we get to the picks and plays, what would be the way to bet Felix if we're looking at bettors out there that think, okay, he can make this interesting? Are we going over? Are we going set betting, player prop, total games? How would we bet this one?
Well, I mean, you could take it would be either player games or the total, I think. Because I wouldn't want to play him to win a set. I don't think he'll win the set, even though it's juicy odds, at 290, to essentially push it to a third set, regardless of who wins the match.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could see this being a match like the first set could go to a breaker.
Right.
It could be 7-5 and then a 6-4 in the second, with, again, there you cover both the number and the total. So I don't know if that's a parlay. They kind of, will juice those down a little bit, when they put those two together. But yeah. I would probably lean towards, because I like the plus money, the 4.5 games.
Yeah, if you're bold enough to go Felix to take a set, or some of the set betting where, just him to win a set in this match is plus 230 on Bet Rivers. Mm-hmm. So, and maybe it is the first set if you feel a little bold there. I would say, yeah, it's weird too, right? Like, I'm not normally a spread guy, but I think this is where a spread is the smarter play, because 4.5 games, if you're looking at Felix to keep this competitive, and look, he would have covered it last match. Like, I think that might be one. You could even, the best thing, like when I learned that toggle feature on this show, it's great. Like, I'm learning something new every day, but you can find a game number that fits what you want to do. So I don't know. I mean, I think that's it. That's one where I would look at. I mean, honestly, you can just go the other way, right? Just think Sinner just swiftly wins this match in straight sets. But even that, like, there's not a ton of value on these two to go even straight sets. I mean, because that's the respect factor that Sinner gets. Straight sets is minus 315 on Bet Rivers right now. Like, that's insane.
Insane. I
would say too, maybe a tiebreak prop. Felix gets to a tiebreak plus 132. I think he can serve pretty well.
He's been serving pretty well.
Yeah.
Problem is you're playing the best returner.
But even so,
right now, I know you want to say Djokovic. That's fine. I get it. But
right now, I think it is Sinner. I mean, it is. Like, Djokovic's the best of all time, and he's still top probably 2 or 3. But Paris was one break a serve, game 1, 6-4, 7-6. It was a tiebreak. It was 7-4. So we're talking a really tight match. U.S. Open went 4. First set was 6-1. Final sets were Felix took 6-3 and then lost 6-3, 6-4. He's not getting boat raced. I mean, if you look at recent history, like, the sets aren't that lopsided. Felix can do a lot on the court. I mean, we gas up Sinner for obvious reasons, but Felix is proven, especially indoors, right? Like, where the match is played means a lot, and he's very comfortable indoors.
No, is that a 2:30 start today, Eastern time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be watching that because there ain't nothing else on the watch today.
No. Well, Felix was a semifinalist here, right? Or no, he missed the semis by a match, I think. So he's had some success in this format too. For Jannik, I mean, there's the pressure factor, right? Like, Dustin, we're looking at Sinner as the number 1 player in the world because Alcaraz got bounced by Nori. I think he pretty much, I would say, has to win every match to keep number 1. And even that might not be enough depending on what Alcaraz does.
I was going to ask you, like, what's the motivation for Sinner here? Is it
keep number 1? Year-end number 1 is the biggest one, I would say. Okay. And it's going to be tough because, I mean, I'm going to be off by a little bit, but Alcaraz can get number 1, no questions asked, by getting to the final, I believe. And I think if he wins every match in group play, that increases it too. Sinner's looking at it like, and we're assuming Alcaraz is going to make a run and be a factor, but win every match. And that's your, I would say, only chance to keep the number 1 ranking by and large. So, and year-end number 1 is what they look at in the history books. More people are going to look at that than who wins this event. Hate to say it, but year-end number 1 is the stuff they look at every year and marking who the great champions are. And we'll see. It's going to come down to the wire.
Is this a huge payday for the men as it is the women?
Well, yes, but not as much, I believe.
Because then we're going to win like $3 million.
Five plus.
Good for her. Sabalenka was pissed.
Final win is 2.5. So you get 2.3 for winning the final. You could 1.1 for winning the semi, and then 396 for each round robin win. Quick math in my head says that is going to be less than what Rybakina got. who won every match too, by the way. So that was part of the bonus. Rybakina winning every match. That was great. You want to talk about the women for a second?
I know you would love to talk about the women because you love WTA tennis.
I do. The drama's been good. I mean, look, we'll be honest, right? More intrigue on the WTA this year than on the men. And that's
no doubt
because Sinner and Alcaraz just dominate everything. And I saw a nice breakdown on the interwebs about there really was a top 9 this year. Andreeva didn't make the WTA finals. Rybakina passed her. But if you look at the rankings and who the best players were, 1 through 9 really dominated everything this year. And I have a lot of excitement for where we go next year. Anisimova gave Sabalenka all she could handle in that semi. Pegula's tough. Rybakina winning this event. Coco got RG. Iga won Wimbledon. I mentioned Andreeva. Like, there's Paulini. Like, Paulini wins Rome. Like, a lot of intrigue on the WTA with Keys in Australia, another one. So it's pretty pumped for women's tennis this year and where it's going to go.
No, it was a great year. I thought the WTA finals were fun to watch. I think this is the first time I've really kind of locked in to watching that event. I've watched the ATP finals before, but this was a really fascinating year because, like, I really felt like every match was kind of a toss up, especially at the end.
Yeah.
If Coco could just found her serve, like, she would have easily.
Yeah,
maybe easily strong, but I think she would have beaten Sabalenka.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those matches.
She was up 4-2 in the first set, and then loses 7.
Sabalenka's so tough though, and I think she's like the best. She's like the best dance partner in terms of if you talk about the best matches on tour. Sabalenka is pretty much a common theme in a lot of these top matches. Winner
brings out the best in their opponent.
Brings out the best, beats Pegula a bunch, but Pegula's playing her best against her. She's played classics with Iga, Coco, and then Rybakina. She's so tough and such a beast out there. And then Rybakina wins the final set of the year, the final tiebreak of the year against the woman that's been untouchable in tiebreaks, and she bagels her in the tiebreak, 7-0. Like, that was Rybakina's tough, and she was the third best player in the world for a while. Coco kind of passed her, and others did, but they don't want to see her. Like, these top players don't want to see Rybakina when she's serving well. It's not fun. Well,
and then on top of that, I mean, we didn't really even talk about Anisimova, who played her butt off against Sabalenka to fall short in the third set.
Do you want to take a quick look at Australia right now while we have a moment?
Futures, yeah, let's do it.
Sabalenka and Bet Rivers plus 200. Iga 450, Rybakina 600, Anisimova 700. So, wow, Anisimova, Rybakina, right? Anisimova was plus 1700, I think, before she even won China. I think she was definitely double digits after the U.S. Open. So, hope you listened to us and got on that. But Rybakina is the latest mover of the week because she is really lethal. And then you have Coco at 13, followed by Pegula at 2000. So, I mean, Sabalenka, realistically, Dustin, this is the best value you could possibly get on her is 2-1 at a slam because she's just always in the mix. Like, there's never going to be a letdown. I think the Wimbledon final, she didn't make the Wimbledon final. She didn't make the run at some of the other events she would have liked to, but every other one, final of winning U.S. Open, final of RG, final of Australia, final of the WTA finals. Just always there.
Man. Well, I think it's been a lot of fun to watch these women compete, and obviously Sabalenka ends the year as the world number 1.
Mm-hmm.
But I think next year it's going to be interesting to see how these women fight it out because there's a lot of people on her tail. Yeah. And yeah, she's the best player, but she's not Jannik Sinner.
No. 10,000 points. You have Iga, who's a clear number 2 right now. Then it's Coco and Anisimova. But yeah, if Rybakina has a big run, I mean, Keys is defending all those points, but yeah, they're not going to be treading this lightly. It's going to be so fun to watch that battle. But yeah, women's Australian Open looks good. And yeah, before we get to the men's side, we got other matches here to talk about from the ATP Finals. Mitch, Michals, Dustin, Fox, all part of Betting Weekly Tennis Live. Matches tomorrow that we want to get to. Start with this one. I mean, Musetti versus Minaur is pretty much, it is like a winner go home, winner stay alive situation. Musetti is a plus 150 underdog, Minaur minus 195. When I look at this number, Dustin, and again, this match has all the stakes on it because the loser is eliminated. Demon looked good against Alcaraz. Like that's one of those matches where it's like, what can you do? He wasn't completely outclassed. I think this number reflects that fact, and also maybe the fatigue factor. You got to wonder with Musetti, who's played a lot of tennis in the last week plus, how he's going to respond to playing another match on a day of no rest.
I would say that I like de Minaur in this match just because he's been more consistent, on the hard court. Musetti has been a little shaky with his form lately. He's just coming off this final. Like there's a lot that I think favors de Minaur. And those long rallies, de Minaur can outlast, I think, Musetti. And like maybe I'm wrong about this, but I do feel like there's like little room for error on those one-handed backhands. And when you get into those long rallies, that's where those errors come. At least from me watching the guys with the one-handers, it's like after 6-8 ball rally, I think it's 50-50.
He's 3-1 against de Minaur as Musetti. Beat him twice this year, but they're on clay. Different Musetti on clay than he is, indoor hard. And
right.
I think the bet would be plus 133 in Demon in straight sets. I think that would be the one, which I know you're giving up a little, you're being a little more bold there. I think the over-under might be tough because I could see a tie-break long grinded out set being the case. But the Demon's just such a beast out there. And I do wonder if you're going into a match with the gas tank not on full, I would think there's very few players worse off playing against than de Minaur, who's just going to put the track shoes on and say, let's start running.
I would not want to play against that dude. He just grinds you out. And, not only is he a great player, but he gets to everything, dude. There's nothing he doesn't get to. And so it's frustrating. Even when you hit a good shot, it comes back. It's like playing a pusher who's not like hitting the ball without pace. He's a pusher who hits the ball with pace.
Yeah, it's like a pusher. The thing is, though, like he's got that Aussie grass court tennis in his DNA, and he'll come to net. So he'll start going side to side, but he is really good at finishing points at the net.
Yes,
and has gotten a lot smarter when to come forward. Also, putting on my fantasy Booker hat right now, a de Minaur win, and then depending on what happens in the second match tomorrow, if the favorite holds up, it would set up Demon versus Fritz for a semifinal spot. So that would be one where, and throw this out there for you too. I'm not encouraging this to happen, but let's say Musetti's out of gas, and I don't have enough left in me. Bublik time. Bublik gets a spot, gets to play an ATP Finals match as the alternate. So I'm just throwing up conspiracy theories there. Bublik in the ATP Finals. Who would have thought? So yeah, that's the play. Any other reads on that one? I mean, we can actually we'll put together the bets for Daily Double, but that'd be the one I would go at. But any other plays? A lot of different ways you can bet this on.
I would say I'm going to see if you can get it up, but I would lean towards a de Minaur. My pick would be a de Minaur 2-0 straight sets plus 133.
Because you can also do the games too, which is another way to look at it, right? Like if you want to bet player individual games or a certain way, but yeah, just straightforward, straight sets.
Just because I like the plus money.
Yeah, who doesn't like a good plus money?
I wouldn't want to lay 195 on de Minaur.
No, we have a lot of player, and it does work out in a certain amount of ways, right? If you do their individual game list, right? Like that's how many games they'll win in the actual match. And we've seen first set over has been very, very good for us. So, maybe one of these matches. Actually, I'm going to save that for the next one because this is the next one. Alcaraz and Taylor Fritz. There you see it, 5-1 favorite. Carlos Taylor Fritz plus 360. They just met in the Japan final, and it was Alcaraz winning in 2 tight sets. But there you see the spread, 3.5. 22.5 is the over/under. Got some set betting. Total sets there as well. I think this would be the one where I would look at. I would look at an over in that first set. I would. I'd go one more time for an over 9.5 games. I think that's the one I would target.
What's our daily double going to be? Are we going to take a tiebreaker from Sinner? Sinner and FAA match?
I mean, that could be one, right? We'll do and so a center tiebreak mixed with straight sets Demon tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna see what. Yeah, I'm gonna because you're betting on Felix has got a good serving set in him essentially.
I think the first set goes to a breaker.
Okay. First set goes to a breaker. So we're looking at, I think it is +1. Well, I'll pull up the odds on this one too, because I think that was like +132, I want to say. And we'll get this out because we got a match in about an hour. So you want to follow this daily double. Yeah, +132, and straight sets was +133. So our daily double of center Felix going to a tie break mixed with straight sets Alex de Minaur over Lorenzo Musetti tomorrow would pay +440. Now that's a good day at the office.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I know. After last week, after just brutal.
What was the one we missed?
McDonald Echeverry. That was my he was that second set was his, man.
Oh man.
That's how it is. That's how it is. And I'm sure if you were been locked in, you would have probably been like, let's go live bet Etch on the tie break to kind of hedge a little bit. But those are the things that happen. So if we're trying to figure out how this is going to go, I mean, semifinalist, you expect Fritz to get the second spot in the Alcaraz group?
Yeah, I do.
Demon could make it tricky, but yeah, I would say Fritz. And then Zverev's win over Shelton sets him up for, it could be chaos, right? Like I think Sinner, so Shelton's going to play Felix, right? And you got Sinner and Zverev, we assume, coming up next, right? How do you see the second spot shaking out there? Is it going to be Sinner Zverev, or do you think we can get a little chaos situation like on the WTA side where the last day it's all up for grabs?
Man, I still don't really understand all of how we get to the final with the round robin stuff.
We got sets lost, we got games lost, we got tie breaks. It's like
what's the most important thing?
Oh gosh, I don't have
my
tie break. I think it's sets lost. Like winning in straight sets, it should be honestly. Like, and then you get to the other ones. But Felix and Shelton are going to play. I'm assuming unless Felix beats Sinner, and then you have a situation where you're just breaking down who wins by how much. If Zverev loses the Sinner, he just has to handle business. We would think, but could be chaos, man. Sorry. So then it's like, yeah, sneezing thinking about this. So then, I mean, are all roads? I'm getting to this. Are all roads leading to Sinner and Alcaraz one more time?
I mean, it has to be, and I want to see it. By the way,
I do.
I love. By the way, that they actually practiced together when they got there. Like, does that happen in any other sport where the rivals would actually practice together before they play?
No. And my other question is here, tennis, right? What other sport do you warm up with the opposition right before the match?
Yeah,
like you don't see Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes playing catch before they play.
Yeah, good point.
That, and it's also carrying your own equipment out there. I think is funny, like coming out with the full bags of rackets, like these, top players. It's pretty funny, but Sinner's going to be priced a huge favorite. I would say there's value in Alcaraz in that hypothetical matchup. I just think if we're looking at players that can win this event, Dustin, and outside of the top two, the only other name I would really think is an outright winner would be a guy like Zverev. He has to avoid Taylor Fritz. It's going to be a Herculean challenge, but he's won this event before. Watch Alcaraz and see if he's moving spryly because he is coming off of his own ankle situation. I think that hindered him against Norrie. But how do you knowingly and willfully give out advice to bet anyone other than the two big dogs? It's hard to do.
It's hard to take anybody other than those two guys at this point until further notice, until somebody knocks them off and wins a major. And I don't see it happening anytime soon. Put it that way.
Could see someone
it's going to be crazy to see how they're going to make these odds next year.
Yeah. We got to go potential, right? Because like Shelton has ability to grow, and I do think he's coming in off of the injury. So this isn't like the version of Shelton we might even see next year. Right. And then our guy Jack Draper is another one that's proven he can give these guys fits, but he, injuries just ravaged him, and you hope that's okay going forward. But Bet Rivers right now has it priced the way you might think. Jannik Sinner, Australian Open 2026 plus 115, Alcaraz plus 140. Then it's Zverev, Djokovic, Fritz, all 1,400. So it goes 140 number 2, 1,400 a hat trick of number 3s, and then Draper at plus 2,000. So price how you would expect, right? Like it's not until it happens, right? That's what you got to do it. You got to see it done. But and all it takes, right, is an injury or somebody to, be off when like something weird happens, and then you have an entire draw that's just opened up. Because I'm looking at it too, like the live ATP points race. That's the other way to look at this. Like if you want to know how dominant it is, look at the point total. Alcaraz going into this event. Really, if you do it like live, like he's live number 1, but he has to finish that way. 11,250. Sinner's got 10,000 points. Zverev's at number 3 with 5,100. So the gap between number 2 and number 3 is 5,000 or so points. And that is the gap between the top 2 and everybody else. So that's where I look at it.
Would you take, do we have odds on to who wins this right now, like a future for this tournament?
Not while it's in play. I saw some odds before the action started, and you were looking at Sinner minus about 160 range. See how that reflects today. Alcaraz was plus, but under plus 200. So, I mean, yeah, Fritz or Zverev, right? They're the next guys up. And if you're talking about weapons, maybe beat one of them and see what happens. We can get some chaos. But, yeah, right now, that'd be the way to go. But I'm really back in Demon. I think that's one of the things we said. Do you like that for the daily double straights? But I think Demon to beat Musetti tomorrow is a good surefire bet. And yeah, I think we're hopeful, wishful thinking that Felix makes it close. Maybe he can sneak out a set. Maybe get a tiebreak, hopefully for a daily double. Maybe keep it close. But
well, I mean, if you want to build our daily double around 2+ money,
well, we got the daily double. We got it. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna do one more time, and we'll flash the graphics before we wind out this show. High odds on this one for Felix and Sinner coming up in about an hour, but our bet from this match isn't on this board. We like a tie break in this one, plus 132 for one tie break in this match, trying to find some value. I would also lean maybe that spread. Felix can play a tie break set, and maybe similar score line to Paris, maybe a 7-6, 6-4 straight sets loss. It's still cover us there. And then tomorrow in this matchup, Alex de Minaur, Lorenzo Musetti, Demon plus 133 straight sets. If you parlay plus 133 and 132 for the tiebreak, you get plus 440. And that's where we're going to go. And that's how we see it. That match, by the way, is a night match. So Demon and Musetti is the night match. Alcaraz Fritz is the early on match, which is interesting. Alcaraz has yet to play a night match in the ATP Finals. Isn't that crazy?
That is bizarre. That's kind of bizarre.
Don't get us on the tennis scheduling thing. We'll see. Well, partner, this has been fun, man. We got, I mean, Davis Cup's coming up, and then it's, a little bit of a couple week training block in the ATP. You got challenger events, you got some other stuff going on next gen, but wow, we've made it to the summit. All these months talking tennis betting, and we finally reached a brief off season.
It's all right. There's still challenger tennis going on. Come on.
I am never going to tune out on tennis, and I'm always going to look ahead because, as I learned, it's going to be here before you know it, right? And you're going to be gearing up for the 2026 season, which actually does start in 2025. I hate to break it to people out there, but there'll be live tennis in the year of 2025 that goes towards 2026. So I can't wait to see it. Any parting thoughts before we bid adieu in this ATP Finals show?
No, man, it's been a fun year talking tennis and breaking all this down. I just I hope that we can continue this. And obviously, the Aussie Open right around the corner, so we'll be talking about that and all this other stuff. But no, it's been great. And don't go anywhere because we do look at these challenger events. I mean, they're playing tennis in Champaign, Illinois right now, baby.
Yes, they are. Gosh, we just can't stop. Can't quit it. This is awesome to see. Yeah, the Champagne Challenger, a good one for sure.
Yep.
Dustin Fox, man, always a blast. This is
man.
Always fun talking betting and tennis, and this has just been great. Bet Rivers doing phenomenal stuff. It's the best sports book for a reason, so download that app. Make sure you tune into Betting Weekly Tennis Live during the season. We got a couple more shows coming up. We got a lot of content on the entire network. The newsletter, Betting Weekly Studios, is great. So many sports, so many good shows. I mean, your show, you and the Bull got some great stuff going on too. Talking sports. Man, yeah. Just keep the Browns out this week. Don't even need to cover that.
No, they're just, they don't deserve any conversation.
How many times do you say, like, how do you jump on third down on that?
And they're
situation?
not even trying. They're not even trying to snap the ball. Amazing.
Dustin, man, this is fun though. Betting Weekly Tennis Live, a great show all year, but always a blast talking with you.
Likewise, man. Appreciate it. See you.
Betting Weekly Tennis Live returns tomorrow, Wednesday, ATP Finals, all season. Best tennis show. For Dustin Fox, I'm Mitch Michals. This is on Bet Rivers. Make sure you download the app, and we will see you in a day or so. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the tennis. I'll talk to you later.